If you think African violets are fussy, but you want those gorgeous blooms, don't give up. African violets have a reputation for being one of the trickiest houseplants to keep happy. But the truth is, with just a little know-how, anyone can grow them successfully. Maybe you've tried before and ended up with droopy leaves, no flowers, or even a plant that just gave up on you. It's easy to feel discouraged, but I promise you're not alone. Most people struggle with African violets at first, and the main reason is almost always the same: the wrong potting mix. Let's be real, African violets are not actually as dramatic as people say. The real drama is happening below the surface, in the soil. If you've ever wondered why your violet just won't thrive, it's probably not your watering, your light, or even your love. It's the soil. The secret to lush, blooming African violets is all about what's happening in the pot. So, let's dig into the soil secrets that will transform your plant from fussy to fabulous. Most people grab a bag of regular potting mix from the store and call it a day. But here's the thing. Standard potting soil is designed for a wide range of plants, not for the unique needs of African violets. These beautiful plants come from the cloud forests of East Africa, where the soil is loose, airy, and drains quickly. When you use regular potting mix, you're giving your violet a heavy, dense environment that holds onto water for too long. That's a recipe for disaster. African violets have a reputation for being drama queens, but honestly, most of the time it's the soil that's the real villain. When the soil is too dense, it traps water around the roots, cutting off the oxygen supply. Roots need to breathe, just like we do. Without enough air, the roots start to rot and your plant's leaves wilt, turn yellow, or drop off. It's heartbreaking to watch, but the good news is it's totally preventable. Regular potting mix is just way too dense. It holds onto water like a sponge and suffocates those delicate roots. That's a fast track to root rot and sad, wilted leaves. If you've ever noticed your African violet looking limp or mushy, or if you've seen brown, mushy roots when you repot, you've probably fallen victim to this common mistake. But don't worry, there's a simple fix. The key is to create a potting mix that mimics the natural environment of African violets. You want something that drains quickly, stays light and fluffy, and still holds just enough moisture to keep your plant hydrated. It might sound complicated, but it's actually super easy to make your own perfect mix at home. Here's the hack. Mix 1 part peat moss, 1 part perlite, and 1 part vermiculite. That's it. These 3 ingredients work together to create the ultimate environment for your African violet's roots. Let's break down why each one is so important. Peat moss is the backbone of this mix. It's light, fluffy, and holds just the right amount of moisture. Think of it as a gentle hug for your plant's roots. It keeps them moist, but never soggy. Peat moss also has a slightly acidic pH, which African violets love. If you can't find peat moss, you can use cocoa coir as a sustainable alternative. It works almost as well and is better for the environment. Perlite is the next superstar in this mix. These little white granules look like tiny pieces of popcorn, and they're made from volcanic glass. Perlite's job is to keep the soil light and airy, preventing it from getting compacted over time. It creates air pockets in the mix, which means your violet's roots can breathe easily. No more suffocating roots. Vermiculite is the final ingredient, and it's a game changer. Vermiculite is a mineral that expands when heated, creating spongy, absorbent flakes. It holds on to water and nutrients, slowly releasing them to your plant as needed. This means your African violet gets a steady supply of moisture and food, without the risk of overwatering. To make your mix, just combine equal parts of peat moss, perlite, and vermiculite in a large bowl or bucket. Mix them together thoroughly so everything is evenly distributed. You'll notice right away how light and fluffy the mix feels. This is exactly what your African violet needs to thrive. If you want to get fancy, you can add a pinch of horticultural charcoal to help with drainage and keep the mix fresh. Some people also like to add a tiny bit of worm castings for a gentle nutrient boost, but this is totally optional. The basic 3-ingredient mix is more than enough for most violets. Now let's talk about repotting. African violets actually like to be a little bit root-bound, so don't go up more than 1 pot size when you repot. Choose a pot with plenty of drainage holes. This is non-negotiable. Good drainage is absolutely essential for healthy roots. When you're ready to pot, gently remove your violet from its old pot. If the roots are tightly packed, use your fingers to gently loosen them. This helps the plant settle into its new home and encourages new root growth. Place your violet in the center of the new pot and fill in around the roots with your homemade mix. Leave about ½ inch of space at the top so you have room to water. After potting, give your violet a good drink of water, but don't soak it. The best way to water African violets is from the bottom. Place the pot in a shallow dish of water and let it soak up what it needs for about 30 minutes. This keeps the leaves dry and helps prevent rot and disease. Light is another key to success. African violets love bright, indirect light. A north or east-facing window is perfect. If your plant isn't getting enough light, it won't bloom, no matter how perfect your soil is. If you don't have a good window, you can use a grow light. Just keep it about 12 inches above the plant and run it for 14 hours a day. Fertilizing is important, but less is more. Use a balanced, water-soluble fertilizer diluted to half strength every 2 to 4 weeks. Too much fertilizer can burn the roots and cause more harm than good. If you see lots of leaves but no flowers, try switching to a fertilizer with a bit more phosphorus to encourage blooming. Keep an eye on your plant's leaves. Yellow leaves can mean too much water, not enough light, or a nutrient deficiency. If your blooms are small or your plant looks sad, don't panic. Adjust your care, check your watering, move the plant to a brighter spot, or tweak your fertilizer. African violets are surprisingly resilient and will bounce back with a little TLC. Another tip, avoid getting water on the leaves as this can cause spots or rot. Always water from the bottom, and if you do splash the leaves, gently blot them dry with a paper towel. With the right potting mix and a few simple care tips, you'll be amazed at how quickly your African violet transforms. Soon you'll have a plant covered in blooms, with healthy, vibrant leaves. It's so rewarding to see your efforts pay off, and you'll wonder why you ever thought African violets were difficult. Try this hack and get ready for a flower show. Share your results in the comments. I'd love to hear how your violets are doing. Like and subscribe for more easy plant wins. And remember, with the right soil and a little patience, anyone can grow stunning African violets. Happy planting!